I'm thinking we take Shaman. It was really fun yesterday. We got an unstable evolution after we got the raiding elemental that made it cheaper, so that was really fun. But Warrior could be good, and we haven't really tried it yet. We tried it pre-nerf, so we did try it when we got Darius, and it wasn't that nice. But maybe the drop rates have improved Warrior. I doubt it, though. Let's go with Shaman. Yeah? Let's do it. Okay. We're going to thrall them all. Thrall them all in the mall. Ooh, that's a good... Always good to see a volcano right away. An earth elemental is pretty hit or miss. We had one yesterday, and it did come in handy twice. So there are a lot of ways around earth elemental that really make it kind of a gamble, especially in this meta being so aggressive. If it gets like sapped or silenced or assassinated or anything like that right after you play it on turn 5 or 6, it's actually, even though it's only 5 mana, I think you probably save it for late game pretty much as often as possible. But having at least one volcano for the good reliable board clear is definitely a strong way to start the draft. I wanted to talk about this guy a little bit. He seems like he could be good. I really like the idea of him. I think they kind of whiffed on, I don't know, the whole setup of the card. Maybe, I mean, because I'm thinking of something comparable, right, that does damage at the end of your turn, and we already have the elemental that does 2 to everything, not just damage minions. So I don't know why they like that 7 price point for this so much. Whereas like the Dreadlord for Warlock is so good because you can get that out kind of early on. This is a really weird board setup for this guy. I'm not sure exactly where they needed to go with it, but I like this card. It's really cool looking. I'm glad that they're trying different things. I think they just missed the mark. In Arena, it can get you value. Way less likely in Shaman than something else like Warrior, which should have at least one Warpath, or even Mage, so that you could ping their guy that you want to take extra damage, set it up a little easier over a couple turns. But we're going to take the volcano, get a nice healthy volcano to start the game off. Okay, so yesterday this exact same pick came up like 3 times, except I think there was a lightning storm here one of them. And so we took the hex first and got an unstable evolution later. So we're gonna go with that again and hope that that it works out. Wow, this is really weird. So I thought that the cards offered you were supposed to be of similar value, but Manatide is extremely important in Arena. Having a poison is extremely important. Like it's number 2 on my list. Having a silence is number 1. So we're looking for an Earth Shock, or a Hex counts towards that, or then the neutral silences. But a poison is really important after that. But drawing cards compared to a River Crocus, I don't know what they're doing. So maybe they're trying to debate me into some new picks here. I don't know, but we're gonna take the card draw. We'll get another poison later, I promise. There you go. That's a pretty easy choice. I do like the Basilisk a little better. And then also the Gravedigger gives you an extra card, so that's always nice to have some way of getting extra cards outside of the game. But it's really dangerous to pass up on the second poison. We might not get offered another one. So let's get that and get our value somewhere else. Okay. Well, there you go. There's another poison. I'm glad I took the Wasp over the Gastropod. The Gastropod is really tricky to get the maximum value out of it. The best way to get the value out of it is like a Tundra Rhino, and then you can just attack with it, which is also true for the Wasp because he's also a beast. So after that, you can sometimes sit on it for a long time trying to find the exact right time to play it, because it can get pinged to death by a mage over 2 turns. Obviously, you know that this guy does not have longevity. But so we definitely not taking this guy. We don't have any minions that pressure the board yet, so we probably want the Grim Necromancer. Trying to think if it's worth it now over the one to cast silence that is extremely good against certain types of minions, right? Like Twilight Drake, this just kills it right out. I think we take the silence, but then we really need some minions here. There we go. We'll take an elemental, try to get some elemental chains going here. Ooh, Violent Worm. There we go, getting some fatties. Okay. Alright, the deck was listening. So, we passed up on Bloodlust last time, but in this meta, it's extremely good. There were a couple times where we could have used it to close out games. We ended up winning those games anyway because the last Shaman deck we had is kind of control-y, but it might be too valuable to pass up. The same thing goes for weapon destruction though. So you want to have a silence, which we've got 2 of right now. It would be nice to have a minion silence because that can get through certain shields. And then you want a poison. We've got a poison. So now we're looking for value. We're looking for some taunts. We're looking for some discovers. But weapon destruction has really moved up the chart because how valuable Silver Sword is. Silver Sword makes a huge difference. It's how Paladins swing away. I mean, they still get the Silver Bell, the Steed. Those are really valuable. That's why we go for the silences. You can still kind of play around those. The Silver Sword is just so... It just turns the hill that you're on from here to here, and the ball just rolls way faster. Meteoric, as they say. There's this term for volcanoes. It's called Nuée Ardente, and it's the part of the smoke. It's a French term, and it's the part of the smoke that's so combined with the ash that it's too heavy to float away. And so it just rolls down the hill and incinerates everything in its path. It only happens with certain types of volcanoes, but that's what Silver Sword is like in Arena. It's the Nuée Ardente of the arena. So once it gets rolling, you gotta find a way to destroy that. And in the real world, it's really hard to stop that stuff. In Hearthstone, you could just throw an ooze at us. So maybe we need to develop the ooze to protect the world from volcanoes. It's probably out there somewhere, guys. The technology must exist. I also really like having a splitting Fester root. The last one I had was with Priest, and we did get really good value out of it because we had the Coffin Deliverer that gave us the combo. But in this, if it were an elemental, I would say definitely go for it. But we've already got Violent Worm, which tends to be more than enough, especially if we get the Bloodlust. So it's a really tough choice between these two. We very rarely get offered... Yeah, we are solving world problems here, Wet Farts. One Hearthstone correlation at a time. I think we're going to take the Bloodlust because we haven't experimented with it yet. We're tryharding tonight. We're seeing if we can get to 12. We're going to use that guy to win games. I haven't broken down the math of the Mystic yet, the random 2-drop. We've done the 1-drop with Ravencaller. I'm trying to think. The variation on 2 is so much higher because we've got Doomsayers to Millhouse Manastorm, right? We rarely end up with enough direct damage. So I'm leaning towards that, but since we just took Bloodlust, seems like a mistake not to fill up on some minions here. But you know what? Let's roll a Zap. I really want a Zap. Okay, so this is probably the hardest pick so far because not that these are the 3 best cards, but they're definitely the 3 equalist cards we've seen so far. Feral Spirit is so good on turn 3. We've got a lot of turn 3s though, but the Spirit right around Manatide Totem is a lot of defense. The Drake is a solid 4. We don't have any 4 yet, just our Hex. And the Invocation is extremely hit or miss. We saw some crazy ones last time. We saw Grumble, we saw Shudder, we saw Deathwing, and then we also saw a couple picks. What was the one where we ended up with? It was down to, oh man, I don't even remember. It was so bad, but it was. You can get some terrible duds with this one. We should take some screenshots. We should do some evaluation on this card. That would be a good YouTube. What counts for Battle Cry? They're all neutral minions, so one of them was Bounce. I think we ended up taking on turn 1 with this last time the Brewmaster, so that we had a turn 2 3/2, which is not the value you want out of this card. So it can be very miss, whereas these are at least always giving you that value. And I think we take the solid 4-drop. we'll be offered another Blazing Invocation. I promise you. We will see another Blazing Invocation. Might not see another Earth Elemental, so I'm a little sad to pass that up, but we need the Fire Elemental. I hope we see another Scalebane for getting some beats out there, but the Elemental tag is too important. The swing that this guy gives you is really strong. These all pretty much stink. I'm leaning towards the egg because we can get value out of the egg with our Bloodlust, with a Flame Strike Totem, and we're going to get one because we need it to win. So we're going to do some reverse logic here. Since we're tryharding, since we're going for 12 wins, since I'm assuming we're going to get 12 wins, let's follow that logic and say we're going to get a Flame Tongue Totem and take the egg. So let's work backwards. Okay, so we did get a second Lava Burst. We don't really care about the Dragon tag here, so we're gonna go for the direct damage. The Pain is really good card draw, or can be anyway, if we can build around it. So I think we definitely want more card draw, especially since the quickest way for a good arena deck to lose is to just not draw cards, to just get beat by a curve that's just a nice healthy curve. Doesn't even have to be the best curve, right? If you do not hit the cards that you need, even if you have 12 cards in your deck that are way better than their deck, if you're not hitting them and they just go turn 1 1 1, turn 2 3 2, turn 4 they've got, turn 3 they coin out the stupid Yeti, you could lose the game before any of that matters. So card draw is extremely important in Arena. I don't know if this is better than having a Threshodon though. Yeah, we need to get a little bit more going on here in the middle. Let's take the Acolyte of Pain and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so the arena proven me a liar. We have only been offered one Bloodlust in the past. Now that we took one, it's friggin' showering us with them. But we are more than happy to have a 2-drop, especially since we can at some point make more Murlocs work. I'm so excited I can't even talk straight. Wow. So the Rockbiter weapon got nerfed a long time ago. This used to be 1 mana, and for that it was an easy pick, but having a 1-drop minion is really good. I did an entire YouTube video about 1-drops because of the value of Ravencaller in Arena. It does apply to Gravel Snout. We do not get that lucky with Gravel Snout though, so I'm considering I think we take the Dire Mole, just get a healthy 1-drop and see what we can do. Oh man. So the Creeper definitely has a place. It used to be so good, especially in Shaman, and we can get value out of it now. We're halfway through the deck. If we get some way to evolve this guy, then we can get exponential value out of that. Same thing with the Dire Wolf. It's really tough to pass it up. It gets us that value out of the egg. I hope we get one more Blazing Invocation though. I really hate passing up that many. We need a Lightning Storm, easy peasy. That's our 3rd Tidal Surge. I think we take it. These guys aren't bad. We already passed up on 1 Weapon Destruction though. Can we do that again? Passed up on 2 Tidal Surges. That can be really swingy. Can really get you a lead. Yeah, let's take this. Let's just win before they have a Silver Sword, right? Or take an Earth Elemental, boom, run into that with your sword. How do you like them apples? Okay, so these choices are all good. Again, do we have Taunt? Do we need this guy? Okay, so we just took a Taunt. Is that our only Taunt? Yeah, it is so far, but we're actually going to take the weapon to get an early game. We probably won't see another weapon. That's really the best weapon for Shaman. And yeah, let's get that going there. What do our 4-drops look like? 1 4-drop. Maybe we take this guy just so the curve's a little healthier on this side of it. What do our 2-drops look like? You know what? No, let's take the Cleric. We got a lot of early game value if we get that going. Ooh, I really want a Primal Fin Totem, but we gotta take the 2nd Hex. It's just too good. The 8-drop Conundrum. We don't need another Earthshock, especially since we have 2 Hexes. Do we need another Worm? Is it more valuable than this guy? I think it is, just because of our Bloodlust, right? If we fill the board, it's just so much more value with Bloodlust. I don't always like having 2 of those. This is an easy choice simply because we can. The ceiling for Spirit Echo is way higher than the other ones, right? So Tainted Zealot, it's an okay 2-drop. You can maybe get some damage out of it. Doesn't really fit in Shaman. It's going to help us push some damage, but we got a lot of 2-drops here. The Frost Shock, same thing. At most, if we have some spell damage, we get 3 out of it. It's just to freeze something. They should maybe drop this to 0, so you could play that in like a super aggro deck. But Spirit Echo, if we get it on 2 or 3 minions, it's pretty astronomical what you get out of it. One of those minions will definitely be a Plated Beetle. That's tough. I think we need the 3-drop with all that Echo, right? We don't even have a 9-drop, anything after turn 8, so like turn 9, he could be really good. But this guy, just to push the damage. Let's do it. Let's just go face. We are going face this time. Second Mana Tide, easy choice. There we go. There's the Tar Creeper. We don't have any elemental chains going here. There's the militia back. Okay, here we go. So non-elemental shaman, total face shaman. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for 12 wins here. Bloodlust face shaman. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it.